Good morning, everybody. Afternoon for some of you. Morning for some of
Morning.
us. Afternoon for some of us. Ooh, feels like it's been a full day. Did uh going since 6 a.m. this morning. My goodness. All right. Already not your typical karate guy, right? I think the typical karate guy gets out of bed around 11. All right. Well, let's do this. Let's last week we had a great call and for you guys to have your phones on, glad you're here. Rudy, hilarious, right? Yep. Um let's go ahead and I'm going to open up my chat on here. There we go. And let's do this. Let's type in the chat for me your biggest win from last week, the last 7 days. What was your biggest win? Go ahead and hammer that out in the chat. We'll take just a minute here. And if you guys can turn on your cameras, go for it. If you can't, well, that's fine. Listen in. But yeah, makes it a little more fun, a little more interactive. But let's type into the chat a win from last week. We'll give everyone just a minute. Hey, Rudy, welcome to the call, sir. Glad to see it. Glad to see it. Where are you located? What part of the country are you tuning in from? Austin, Texas. All right.
Austin.
Woo. Secure a space for my classes. Rich, congratulations. Yes, sir. That's exciting. Rich is kicking off a club that starts October 21st, I think it was.
24th.
24th. Okay,
Yes,
beautiful.
sir.
We're getting ads. When do the ads go live? Have you had a chance to go through that yet?
We have not. That's our next step is to let's talk about ads and how we get that all launched out.
Okay, now have you been able to have you logged in and checked out the tutorial for it?
I it said it would send me an additional email with the login information, and I haven't gotten that email. I was someone I was
Okay.
going to speak with you separately
Okay,
with.
well we'll get that squared away right now. All right.
All right.
Joel Brown, a new student, annual membership, 299 plus 325 gear per. Congratulations, sir. Excellent.
I
Excellent.
know.
That's fun.
Woo!
Yeah, heck yeah.
It's the small wins, man.
Hey, well, that's not even I mean, if you think about it, what's so funny is, we have folks that start off that are, charging sometimes even under $100 a month simply because they've never been given permission to ask for the kind of money they actually deserve. I mean, it's amazing. We've had guys go, we had this one guy in Pennsylvania, or I should say have, he was charging $99 a month. Now his basic membership is $199 a month, literally a 100% increase in tuition. And he's enrolling more people than ever. And that's something I think is really important. When you charge too little, you're discounting not only yourself, but you're discounting the value of what it is you have to offer. My kids did a lot of stuff growing up, and I didn't look for the cheapest guy in town if it came to something I had thought was important, like let's see, what's a good example? Swim lessons. Where we went was the Debbie Meyer Swim School. She's a 3-time Olympic gold medalist, known for having an amazing swim team and being really good with kids. Well, this was, 20 years ago. She was charging $1 a minute is what it came down to be. And 20 years ago, that was a lot of money. And there was other swim schools that were charging half that amount. But they had some, pimply faced 12-year-old kid teaching the swim lessons for them. Whereas I had an Olympic professional teaching my kids. It was worth the money because I wanted them to know how to swim. Their life is important to me. I didn't want them to drown. And I felt like I was getting the best quality service. I will pay a premium if I feel like I'm getting the quality. Think about restaurants. I eat out quite a bit. There's some restaurants that are cheap and you quickly find out why. And there's some restaurants that are expensive and you have a whole different experience. Now, occasionally you go to an expensive restaurant that underperforms, and guess what? You never go back. So we do have to make sure that we're not only about the money. That's so important. I encourage you, I am all about the money. I am never only about the money. And there was a stark difference there, guys. Huge difference. Let's see here. We got Jong adjusted his upgrade programs, 3 levels, black belt training. Well, there's several different ones. I'm not sure what they offer for, but he broke it up. Fantastic. If you have one program that includes everything in the kitchen sink, you're doing a disservice to yourself and your members because number one, not everyone wants to do everything. I made that mistake 20 years ago. We had basic and black belt, and black belt included weapons and sparring and tournaments and breaking and achievement patches and instructor training and demo team and competition training. I mean, it was everything. And I thought, oh, what a great deal that is. The problem is 2/3 of the mommies didn't want to do all that stuff. And I was holding their feet to the fire to do stuff they didn't want to do. In other words, I was encouraging them to quit faster. So we thought, well, why don't we try to get a little bit smart? What would a real business do? Think about that, guys. That was one thing. Mr. Mertens and I sat down some decade ago, 10 years ago. We thought, what if we break apart this whole business model that was never designed to have more than 50 students in the first place and build it from the ground up, rebuild it from the ground up that would actually make sense to someone who wanted to invest in a business. Because let me tell you, the traditional karate school, you will get laughed at if you tried to go to an outside investor saying what a great business model this is. You know, why? Well, you know, we're going to sign people up, but then we're going to make them jump through fiery hoops to get what we signed them up for. And I'm probably going to fail a bunch of them, even though I told them they were ready and collected their money. But I'll let them pay me more money so that I can work with them one-on-one and then pass them after I already told them that they should test. I mean, talk about shooting yourself in the foot. So we thought, what if we just broke this whole thing apart and made it all about the training and the ability to progress through the ranks to one day become a black belt and beyond? What if we take out all the obstacles? Not that they shouldn't earn it, they should, but let me make it a more clearly defined path on how they can earn it. And then we will test them when it's appropriate. Does that make sense? All right. So anyway, back to the different programs. You know, we broke it up. We said, okay, we got black belt training, we got leadership training, we have Gold Quest, we have Apprentice, we have a CIT. And every single one of those programs has a price tag on it, and they have a clearly defined curriculum or path on how they'll help you get what it is they promise to get you. And then let people, I mean, think about if we all went to the same university, we would all get the same degree, but we wouldn't necessarily have the exact same education because you might take different classes. Heck, I know we wouldn't take all the same classes, but we're going to take all the classes that we must take to fulfill our minimum basic requirements. And then we'll take the electives that we choose to add on to that based on our own interests. Not everyone likes doing competition, but they'll do a little bit. Not everyone likes to do weapons, but they'll understand them. Not everyone wants to be an instructor, but they can go through certification. There's a lot of different ways to skin a cat, and let's allow people to go from one level to the next to the next. So to bring this back around, let's talk about what we have planned for today. Last week, we talked about the 7-step enrollment process, and we're going to do a quick review and then continue on there. So for you guys that do have your cameras on, thank you. What was your biggest takeaway from last week's training? Anyone got something they want to share? Oh, I said Jong. John G. I saw Jong in the chat. I thought we had I know Koreans that are named Jong.
I think probably the biggest thing is how everything just works seamlessly together. And it's so well thought out and planned. But if you drop out, it's like making a cake. You leave out an ingredient, you're not going to get the cake that you really wanted.
That's right. Yeah, if you leave out the salt, the whole thing's ruined.
Yes.
You know, the salt by itself isn't good, but you leave the salt out, you're done. Yeah.
And I'm studying the scripts, this weekend, just from the telephone, just how everything starts from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I just have to continue to work from that point going forward.
And you have the full manuscript as well as a little cheat sheet, right, sir?
Yes, sir.
And I tell you, we spend more time working on phone dialogue than probably anything because it's how 99% of your conversations will begin. It doesn't matter if you call them, if they call you, if you're meeting somebody at a booth, if you're meeting someone in a parking lot or in an elevator, if you get a walk-in, you meet someone at a school function or event, anytime you come in contact with a prospective new student, the first line might be different, but it quickly funnels into that same conversation straight away.
Yes.
And that's why, getting that phone dialogue down and being able to make it your own where you can just have a conversation like that is so important. In fact, maybe that's what we'll dive into hard next week, is really understanding that phone dialogue, because you get that down and everything. The phone dialogue is the foundation. Like if you're going to build a house, as we finish up the enrollment procedure today, you go through these 7 steps and it finishes up with, you ask for the money. That's the smallest part. Because if I haven't laid the foundation and built this house, it just falls over and collapses. However, if you do all these steps, the money, that's no big deal. That's just the last little piece. That's the easiest piece. But it does start with the phone dialogue. That foundation has to be solid, and it sets the tone for how this relationship will work, hopefully for the next 10 years. People think, I sold a trial. Okay, that's like pulling the trigger on a starting pistol. Big deal. I mean, it's good, but it's the very first thing. You're just getting out of the blocks, right? And then we have the tour and orientation, and then we have the enrollment. But even then, this 12-month basic training program is just that. It's a little piece on the path to black belt, because nobody's going to reach black belt by signing up on a 12-month basic training program. And for you guys who are doing less than 12 months, that's kind of a hindrance also, but that makes it even harder to get to black belt. If you're doing a 6-month basic training, or if you're doing a month to month, good luck. You'll never have an army of black belts, right? So I've got to get them on the membership that matters, which is a path to black belt. And if I can't do that straight away, you're just making your job so much more difficult. And you're putting a big clog in not only the path to helping people, but also the ability to make money. Why would I invest in something if I'm not already committed to something? Why would I invest in something or why would I upgrade anything if I don't even know if I want to get a black belt? You just put the brake, you just shoot yourself in the foot. So let's go back to here. We're going to open this up. Can you turn on screen sharing, Roman?
Should be on
Thank
now.
you. I got it. Thank you. Okay. All right. So last week we talked about the greeting and the front counter, how we want to greet someone like they've never been greeted before. I want them to immediately realize this is something new, different, and unlike anything else they've ever put their foot into. The truth is, when a mommy brings in her 8-year-old kid, this is not the first thing she's tried. Can we all agree on that?
Right.
Now, the kids 4 or 5, maybe, but even then I'd say doubtful. Typically, we are not the first stop. Typically, you're bringing an 8-year-old kid that's tried 2 or 3 or 4 other things and not been very successful at any of them. I wish we got to sign up the superstar athletes that were straight A students that were Eagle Scouts, but that's rarely the person you enroll. Yes, there's exceptions, but that's rarely the person that gets brought to your academy. So we have the greeting and the front counter. We're going to knock their socks off the moment we meet. We talked about that last week. We're going to take them on a tour that starts at the front door. We're going to teach them how to enter the academy and why we do what we do. That's so important. If you want to gain compliance, begin with why. Steve Jobs was brilliant at that. In the beginning, they were racing against HP, and HP was already way ahead of them. And HP's strategy was to tell them all the things that their machines could do. They started out here and worked in. Our machines can do this and have this tech and all this and all this and all this to make your job easier. Steve Jobs flipped it. He started with the middle, the why. Our vision is to connect the world. And here's how we'll do it. And started working out from there. You got to begin with, in fact, there's an author named Simon Sinek. He even wrote a book called Begin with Why. If you haven't read it, check it out. It's really good. All right, so the tour starts at the front door. Everything we do, we're going to explain why it's important and then ask them for compliance. So we're going to teach them how to enter the academy, tell them why, and then have them comply. Mom, dad, kids, everyone. The tour, then we're going to, so the front door, the pro shop. Even if you don't have a pro shop, we're going to talk about the pro shop. Simple as this. Mom, everything your child will ever need for their martial art training, you'll be able to get right here at the academy, and we'll always tell you when it's the appropriate time. Isn't that great? Oh, I don't have to worry about anything. Yes, thank you. That's literally what happens. Here's our practice floor. Here's our schedule concession. Another key. This is one of the most important parts of this so far. The front door, the pro shop's good because it sets the tone of where they'll buy it and that you're in charge. I'll tell you when. Practice floor, parents always have safety concerns for their kids. Schedule concession is a biggie because parents have busy lives, especially if they have more than one kid. And so we just want to put them at ease. Mrs. Smith, another great thing about our academy is that most families find it very easy to get to class 1 to 2 times a week. Will that work for your family? Now, I haven't talked about day and dates and times. I'm letting her know what my expectation is and gaining a level of compliance. Will that work, 1 to 2 days a week? Now, do I want a kid only coming 1 day a week? No. Will I let a kid come only 1 day a week? Sure, I just got to get them started. And if I get them to fall in love with it, they'll want to come more and more and maybe even more than that. But to help people get started, I've got to make it easier to allow them to get out of their own way. So, and plus, when I talk about the membership, I don't want to hear, well, is it cheaper if I just come 1 day a week? We've already closed that door. It's gone. We talked last week about having this long hallway to membership, and there's all these doors along the hallway. And if those doors are all open, they get distracted. Well, what about this? What about that? Ooh, that's neat. Oh, what about, oh, that looks dangerous. I mean, there's all these things they can get distracted by. I want to close all those doors. The only door open is at the end, and that would be to say yes to membership. So let's close. One of the doors is scheduling. I'm not going to talk about how convenient our schedule is. It may not be convenient for you at all. But I am going to talk about most families come to class 1 to 2 days a week, setting a precedent of how this will work. Perfect. Here's our card rack. This is where we track attendance and rank promotion to help a student learn the habit, the art of setting and achieving goals, to be able to go from one level to the next and have accountability for each and every week to make it easy for them to succeed and one day even earn the prestigious rank of black belt. First pre-frame right there. Now, based on what you've seen so far, this is a biggie. This is a must do. Based on what you've seen so far today, the great thing is an entire family can train here at our academy for like $500 a month. How does that sound? And that is literally what comes out of our mouths. Now, some people might be like, oh, that's a lot. Some people might go, oh, that's cheap. Most of the time they go, okay. But in their brain, they're thinking, oh, that's a lot. Oh, that's cheap. Who knows what that is?
That's true.
But I don't care. I need them to think that so I can get their full attention. If I tell you that our membership for a family runs $500 a month, how does that sound? I want you to be like, whoa, that's more than I thought. Now, the good news is if it's just for your kid, it's half price. And the better news is when I tell you it's $500, you're thinking, oh, I better pay attention here. If this is some knucklehead park and rec deal, this must be legit. I better sit up straight and pay attention, see what's going on here. Why are they charging that much? Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. Now, some of people shy away from doing the price drop, or they don't do the price for the family because they think, oh, well, I don't want to scare them away. You want to knock them back on their heels to get their full attention and to take you seriously.
Seriously.
That's right. So Ms. Smith, I got to tell you, based on what we've covered so far, you know, the neat thing about our academy, the great thing about our academy is that families and a whole family can train together. And it's like $500 a month. How does that sound? Whatever she says, I'm cool with it. If she says, oh, that's a lot of money. Oh, we could never afford that. Oh, don't worry. We're going to go over all the tuition options after we complete our first lesson today. You have a lot to look forward to. If she says, oh, that's really cheap, that's great. We'll go over all the tuition options after we finish our first lesson today. You have a lot to look forward to. Oh, I don't know. Or what you typically get is like, okay, perfect. Well, don't worry. We'll go over all of the tuition options and membership choices after we complete our first lesson today. You have a lot to look forward to. But now that number's tumbling around in your head and you won't be able to get it out, and you'll see what I want you to see differently. All right. So then we're going to give a brief instructor or staff introduction, even if you're a one-man show. Now, let me tell you, I've been teaching martial arts for however many years I've been teaching. And I've gone through rigorous training, both as a martial artist, as an instructor. And I love being able to help families like yours achieve the same benefits. Martial artists are some of the best people you'll ever meet in your life. They're people that make good choices, stand up for what's right, know how to handle adversity. And these are the same skills we're going to teach your child starting today. I mean, you can elaborate on it any way you see fit. It could be about, oh, you're going to meet Master Garland. Let me tell you, when you meet him, here's what we'll do. We'll put our feet together, hands at our side. We're going to bow, and we're going to look him right in the eye and say, hello, sir. He's going to really enjoy meeting you. Here, come with me. I mean, just make a bigger deal about it, guys. People already, martial arts in general has this air of mystique and mysticism, and I mean, they think you can walk on water. Well, the only person that jacks that up is us. Oh, no, I'm just like you, said the dumb martial artist. You know, why? Because if you're just like me, why do I need to sign up with you? I want something more. Makes sense? All right, so step 4, personal analysis. I think we pulled this up last time. I'm going kind of a quick pace here because I want to get caught up and be able to wrap up the end of it. But let me go ahead and open this up real fast. And dun, dun, dun. Oh my. I apologize. I should have this ready here. I guess I won't open it up real fast. Might take me just a second. Thought it was there and it's not. All right. Well, Roman, if you can find that and pull it up, go for it. Otherwise, the PA is where we're going to find out what it is they need in their life. It's kind of like opening up a wound a little bit, and then we're going to jab our finger in it to get their full attention. That way we can tell them how we can help. So for example, we're going to ask, what would you like to see for your child? Better confidence, better focus, better discipline. And then we're going to ask deeper questions about that. Well, I want better focus. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let me have Master Garland.
Yes, sir.
Let's role play this for a minute. Let's pretend you're a parent, a dad, obviously, and you're bringing in your 6 or 8-year-old kid for lessons. All right. And you put on there, I want more. What do you want?
Self-confidence.
More self-confidence
in school.
Great. Okay. Well, like I see on here that you want more self-confidence for little Johnny. Tell me about that.
He's getting picked on in school, and we're starting to see his grades get affected. So we want to try and give him the tools to be able to defend himself, and not get pushed to the nose again.
Well, I tell you, having the confidence to stand up straight, look someone in the eye, and not look and feel scared and intimidated goes a long way, and even ever having to defend yourself, right? But supported with that will be to learn real self-defense skills, where hopefully that never happens again. So if Johnny had the kind of confidence you want to see in him, what do you think might be different for him?
I think he probably his school grades would improve. He'd interact with the other kids probably, much better, rather than sort of just looking into himself. He would get out there more because he's not making any friends right now.
Gotcha. And you want him to make good friends, not just friends, but good friends, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if he had this level of confidence and was able to get the better grades and not get picked on and make good friends, I got to ask, as his dad, how's it going to make you feel?
So much better. That's what we want for our kids.
Of course. You know what? Every parent wants more for their kid. Would you agree?
Yes.
All right. Well, this is what we're going to start to work on with Johnny today. In fact, I think you're going to start to see some results even in his very first lesson. You have a lot to look forward to.
Great.
Most of what I did, guys, was ask questions. Would you agree?
Yes.
I don't, too often we're too eager to help. And there's a thing we talk about, we do a whole training on. Are you listening to understand or are you listening to respond? I don't want to listen to respond. You've always seen people that do it. They're like, okay, well, let me tell you how we're going to fix it, right? They've got something in their brain that already got locked and loaded. They're ready to fire it out as soon as you shut up. So hurry up and get it out so I can tell you what I want to say. That's listening to respond. And unfortunately, doesn't carry much weight. However, listening to understand, that's a whole different ballgame, because my conversation with him may not be exactly the same as it might be with you or the next person, because I don't know how he's going to respond. I'm listening to hear his answer so I can ask a question about the answer he just gave. And that's the key. For example, if I said, Master Garland, what part of the country are you in?
Northeast, New York.
Northeast. And have you always lived there? Have you always
lived
there?
Sir? Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. And what do you like most about it?
Not much. I want to move. I hear California is real nice, but
oh no,
it's a little expensive.
No. Don't come to California.
Our politics are all jacked up. I'm sorry. We do have the weather, but our politics are a mess. Okay. So if you could move anywhere, where would you go?
I don't know, maybe Florida.
Oh, I was in Florida actually last month. No, maybe it was earlier this month. I think it was earlier this month I was in Florida. North Florida, Jacksonville. It's very humid. All right. And what would you do in Florida?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's something down the road possibly, but certainly not right now.
Now, notice, guys, what's going on here is I'm learning more and more about Master Gartland simply because I'm asking questions. And I'm asking him more questions. I'm not sharing a whole lot. I shared our jacked up politics, I guess. But I'm not sharing a whole lot because I'm being more concerned about him than me. And I think most of us do that on the training floor, but you got to do that on the telephone, on the tour, and on the everything. I'm here for you. It really has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with my ability to connect with others. And write this down, folks. Write this down. To be more interesting. Maybe some of you guys already know the second half of this, but we'll give everyone a chance to write it down. To be more interesting, you have to be more interested. So yeah, I'll ask you questions. I'm going to listen attentively to your answers, and then I'm going to ask you questions in regards to the answers you just gave. This is how you build rapport. This is how you develop relationships. This is how you prove to somebody that you care as much as you hopefully really do. But you can't assume anything. You got to prove it. You got to go out of your way to make sure they feel it. So again, to be more interesting, you have to be more interested. Every one of us on the planet loves nothing more than to talk about ourselves. Kind of goes along with something I heard again the other day is, how's that saying go? The sweetest sound to anyone is the sound of their own name. So yeah, you want to quickly establish a relationship and rapport. Care about people. And how do you prove and show that you care about people? Ask questions. Listen to the answers, and then ask questions about the answers they gave. It really is that simple. We actually do a piece of our class. It's called Get to Know Your Neighbor, where we will take about 5 minutes of the class for students to get to know their neighbor. and we coach them on how to do it. Now, what's really crazy is at first people are like, oh, this is kind of neat. And then after a while, some of the parents are like a little uncomfortable. We're like, oh, we're going to do this all the time. So yeah, we got to teach these children how to interact and how to socialize and heck, how to even have a conversation with adults like you. And then it turned into, heck, a whole bunch of our reviews are like talking about, we really love the school. It's really helped my kid with their confidence. They're even teaching them how to interact with others. They're even teaching them how to have conversations with adults. They're even teaching them how to meet new people. Why? It's baked into the curriculum. Simple. Simple. All right, so let's get back on track. The personal analysis is for us to get a deep discovery, number one, find out what it is they want.
You can come and listen to this.
Why it's important, what will improve, how will it make you feel? And that last one is really important, guys, because signing up your 5-year-old kid for a 3-year membership does not make sense logically. It's an emotional purchase. So if we're not tapping into the emotional reasons why they opted in the first place, you're missing the boat and you're devaluing your program, because now you're allowing them to potentially classify it as an activity, and activities are cheap. Okay. So second part of that personal analysis is addressing concerns and potential objections. Is he involved in any of the activities? Let's talk about it now before I ask you to enroll. Does he have any medical concerns? Let's talk about it now before I ask you to enroll. Is there another parent involved in the decision to make enroll? Let's talk about it now versus when I ask you to enroll. Remember, back to that hallway. What am I doing? I'm closing doors, closing doors, closing doors. Oh no, our schedule is wide open. They can't use schedule to not enroll. Oh no, I'm a single mom and my ex-husband's a deadbeat, but I make plenty of money. Close that door. I don't need to talk to my husband. Or maybe dad is in the picture as he should be. Okay, great. Do you have dad's full support? Are you able to make the decision to enroll if Timmy qualifies for membership today? Oh yeah, yep, my husband's fully on board. Great. Close that door. Right? Does he have any concerns? Well, my kid's got asthma. Does he need an inhaler? No, not usually. Great. Close that door. Yes, he does. You have it with you. I don't think he'll need it, but just in case, always better to be safe than sorry. We certainly would allow him to use it in class if necessary. Close that door. What else? What other objections?
We'll be moving in 3 months.
Ooh, now that's one. Okay, good one. We're gonna move in 3 months. Ooh, well, what are we looking to? Let's pump the brakes. You just told me I can't enroll you on a real membership. We might as well talk about it. What do we got to lose now? Well, we move in 3 months. Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about why you're here today. You know, are you looking to get a head start so when you move, they can continue their training? Well, yeah, if she likes it, then we'll just pick up and continue training. Okay. Now I might have to do a one-off. This is no longer a typical enrollment. We might do a one-off. And so in this particular case, what I might do is just sign you up for 3 months and ask for a single installment. So, well, since you're only going to be here for 3 months, let's commit to getting them a head start so they can continue to wherever you move to next. I would have asked, of course. Oh, we're moving to Austin. Okay, great. Lots of good martial arts schools in Austin. I can probably help you find a good one to train once you move. In the meantime, let's get your kid a big head start. So after we finish our first lesson today, we'll review the membership and how we can help your child get a head start before you move.
Can I interrupt real quick second?
Yes.
I was surprised that you didn't say this, because the first thing that popped in my head was, oh, are you moving local?
Well, yes,
would you still be able to make classes?
Yeah. So, well, the question would be, where are you moving to? Yes. So
right.
We're moving from Carmichael to Natomas. Oh, no problem. We got a school right there. But if they say we're moving from Sacramento to Austin, oh, great.
Then, yeah.
So when you said moving, I assumed out of the area. But yeah, you would ask that first. Where are you moving to? Yes. Good catch. So if you're going to move away then all right, well, we got two choices. We don't enroll, or we enroll for the 3 months you're going to be here. What can I do about that? Nothing. But that is not typical. That would be what we call a one-off. And I would say, okay, well, in that case, let's go ahead and do the $600 for the 3 months and get them a big head start. What card do you want to use? Now, could I fall back to 3 installments of 200? Sure, but I might as well just ask for the $600 and then fall back if I need to. And for you guys that have that are involved in mass training, you have the whole cascading fallback workbook there, and yeah, there's half a dozen fallbacks to leverage. So back on track. I want to use the PA to find out what they want, make it more important, explain how we're going to help you do that. Number two, I want to eliminate potential concerns and objections so that by the time we get to the point where we're talking about membership, we're not worried about all that stuff. It's already been addressed. Okay. Now we have the orientation lesson. We're going to teach them how to bow and why. We're going to talk about what is Taekwondo, how we demonstrate respect, this whole outline for this, the physical training, the mental training, the philosophical training. This is the real weight. Physical training is fun. The mental training is valuable, and the philosophical training is the icing on the cake. And this is what helps a parent realize it's not just an activity. This isn't a weekend soccer camp. This is life-changing martial arts. And this whole orientation lesson shouldn't take more than 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes total, because we're not here to teach you Taekwondo. We're here to get you excited about the idea of being able to learn Taekwondo or Kung Fu or karate or whatever you teach. Makes no difference to me. Whatever martial arts style you teach, this introductory lesson is designed to give them a little sample, like going to Baskin Robbins and getting that little pink spoon. I'm not going to give you a full-blown banana split. We're going to give you a taster. Why? Oh, that's really good. I want more. Give me that. That's what the introductory lesson is. And I know guys that have done it. Well, yeah, we teach an hour-long orientation lesson, or even worse, we throw them into class. Now, if any of you guys are guilty of that, please just stop. You're just making it harder. You're making it so much harder to sign people up. I need to be able to control your first experience so that I can leverage that to demonstrate what it is you want. If you told me your kid needs more confidence, more focus, I'm going to have me, the child, and then the parent on the mat. Now, we already discussed it on the phone. If you're using the phone dialogue, the parents already agreed to be on the workout floor. So they got their nails fixed. They're not wearing grungy socks. Their feet are clean. They're not doing all the things that will stop them from getting on the mat because we had good communication. Now they come in, we're going to line them up. We're going to make the parent a student. You guys have the student, the kid, and the client is the mommy. The kid does not pay for himself. The client is the parent. My goal is to make the client a student also. Now, hopefully that results in membership, but at a minimum, it will result in you being a student off the mat. In other words, you're going to get to feel and experience being what it is to be a martial artist under our tutelage, whether you choose to enroll or not. And in this intro lesson, we're going to all go through it together so I can connect with mom about the kid. I'm not going to say the kid doesn't matter, but the kid matters least. It's about me connecting with the parent, about developing the relationship, about what we're going to do for her kid. Not getting down on one knee and going, hey, Timmy, I really love you, man. You're going to do it. You're going to do awesome. I mean, come on. Does anybody enjoy doing that? No. I'm going to have a real conversation with the parent about her. It doesn't mean I'm not going to give the kid a high five. Hey, kid, man, you did great. High five. Oh, do it again stronger. Yeah. Mom, look at that. That's how we start to develop the confidence in your young man. You have a lot to look forward to. I got to connect with mom about the kid. And that's what our orientation lesson will help you do. So if you need more confidence, I'm going to use my intro lesson to demonstrate your kid's change in confidence. And anyone on this call should be able to do that easily. I mean, simple things like, let's Snap back to attention. Yes, sir. Oh, let's do it again. A little bit louder. Mom, you too. Let's go. Everyone together now. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Yes, sir. Oh, that was better. All right. I'm looking at mom. Let's do it one more time, even louder. Ready? And set. Yes, sir. Oh, high five, kid. Mom, you seeing this? Look at that. That was very good. That's the kind of confidence we're going to develop in your young man. Heck, I think he's an inch taller already. Look how straight and tall he's sitting there, standing there. Yeah, mom's going to be like, holy cow. See, when you demonstrate to a parent that you are able to modify her child's behavior in an instant, you just increase your value 100%, because no one else has done that for her. And again, I'm saying for her. I'm not focused on connecting with the kid. I'm the kid's instructor. I mean, if you got your kid in soccer and he's taking your kid out for ice cream because he wants to be his buddy, you better look into that. That's a real problem. I'm not here to be your kid's best friend. I'm here to be his instructor. I'm here to be an influence on his life. I'm here to assist the parent by being a third-party influence. All right. Okay, so now after we do the student, after we finish the lesson, oh, now comes the fun part. Attention, bow, congratulations. Timmy, you did great. You're already pretty fast. You had fun. Are you ready to be one of my students? Yes, sir. Perfect. Timmy, turn around, give your mom a big old hug and a kiss and tell her thank you for signing you up today, because they've already signed up on the 2-week trial. And the kid sometimes goes, oh, and the mom just gushes. Oh, get over here. And again, I'm connecting with the mom, not the kid. And sometimes the kid's compliant. Sometimes the kid resists. Either way, the mom loves it. The mom will eat it up and she will love you for it. So now, Mrs. Smith, as I told you earlier, as we explained before, we use our 2-week trial to qualify students for membership. And based on what I've just seen right here, your kid's ready. He did great. And since mom was a student on the mat also, she felt it. See, let me sidebar real quick. I do not want the mother to sit on the side, watch, and judge. She's got to participate to see and feel. There's a difference. And I'm certainly not going to throw that kid in a class where he might get lost, confused, intimidated. The mom's going to judge him against all the other kids in class who've been there before and he hasn't. And she's going to be like, oh my gosh, he's going to suck at this too. I don't want to let that happen. So no, she's not allowed to sit and judge. She's not allowed to judge me, the other kids, her kid, nothing. We're going to put the kid on a dot and the mom on a dot. Now we begin. It's and it works 100% of the time if you have the right phone conversation. And again, we'll get into that, I guess, next week. But now I can say, Mom, congratulations. As you know, we use our 2-week trial to qualify students to see if they're ready to begin our basic training program. I mentioned earlier, our goal is for everyone to one day reach black belt. And today we're going to start that journey with our basic training program. So come with me. And what we're going to do is we're going to sit down and explain the membership. And the membership is real simple. Remember, this is the smallest part. If I did my job right, she's ready to enroll. We talked about what she wants. We showed her how she's going to get it. The kid's excited. The mom had a great time too. Now we're just going to talk about how they get to make that happen. It's real simple. Here's the features and benefits of our program, of how it's going to demonstrate or how it's going to do for your child what we've been talking about. And so now we just need to talk about the money. And Mrs. Smith, normally to get started in our program, there's an initial investment of X. But since we now see that we don't need to wait 2 weeks, your kid's ready, we're going to apply that 2 weeks as a full credit for getting started on membership. So for example, if you guys are charging $200 a month, 2 weeks is worth $100. Agreed? So since we don't need to use the 2 weeks, we're going to apply that full value of the program and save you $100 for enrolling today. And as a matter of fact, I am so confident this is the right choice for your child, we're going to match that. So for enrolling today, you're going to save a total of $200. So instead of the initial investment being $295, it's only going to be $95. How's that sound? And just zip it, zip. And they're going to say, oh, that sounds great. Stop this real quick. There we go. I'm going to ask them, how does that sound? This is probably the most important part of enrolling someone because they have to understand how the money works. It's a small piece, but it's extremely important. So write this down. Let's use some practice numbers. It's $295 down and $200 a month. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to say, okay, so Mrs. Smith, now that so we did the lesson, we said the spiel, let's go over here. I'm going to go ahead and review the membership with you and help you save money by just getting started. It's obvious we don't need to wait. So here we go. Now, normally to get started, there's an initial investment of $295. However, since we now see we don't need to wait the 2 weeks, your kid did great. He is ready. So we're going to apply that savings to this membership, saving you $100 for enrolling today. That 2 weeks is worth $100. So we're going to save you $100 for enrolling today. And as a matter of fact, I'm so confident that this is the right choice for your son, I'm going to go ahead and match that. So we'll save you $200 total for enrolling today. So instead of this initial investment of $295, it's only going to be $95. How does that sound? Just wait. Just zip it. Shut up. Let them process it and answer you. If it takes a few seconds, that's okay. They'll be like, oh, they're looking at it. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. Perfect. And then for the tuition, it's $200 each month. And to get started, it's real simple. We do first and last with 10 installments remaining. So to get started today, we're looking at a total of what, $495, and then you have 10 more installments of $200. Let's get started. Not do you want to get started, not should we get started, not if you feel like it, we'll get started. Let's get started. Give direction. Don't ask, tell. Now, she might push back. Well, I can't do $500 today. Well, that's okay. I don't ever want to let the money get in the way. Let's do this. Let's save you the initial $200 by starting today. And then we'll just do the first installment. So that means to get started today, heck, it's only $295. Let's do that. Let's get started. Simple fallback. Now she still says, oh, but I can't even do $295. Well, in that case, heck, who can we call? Mom, dad, aunt, uncle, grandparents. Heck, grandparents love to help out their grandchildren with programs like this. Here's what you have to keep in mind, guys. The average American has access to $7,500 at any given time. That's just the statistics that's out there. Google it. The average American has access to $7,500. If you can't come up with $295, you can't afford my martial arts. Now, what I have to realize and be okay with is I'm not going to sign up everybody. I'm not. We currently enroll about 7, sometimes 8 out of 10. So we enroll most. The goal for new clients is enroll at least half. So for every 10 people that come in, you get at least 5 yeses. If you're following the pattern, if you're following the plan, you'll enroll at least half. As you get better and better at it, get more comfortable, get more fluid, you'll enroll 60, 70, 80%. But the great news is enrolling half the way we're teaching you to do it, you'll collect 3, maybe 4 times more money than if you enrolled them, almost all of them, the way you were doing it before, for most people. For most people. But the better news is what we're really doing, guys, is we're teeing them up for what's next. This is not the destination. This is simply the next step in what? Getting them on a path to black belt. That's where the real money kicks in. Basic training is a stepping stone. We are not done. I don't sign somebody out and go, oh, I need a cigarette. No, man, I signed them up. It's like, okay, now we get ready for black belt training. And in a few short weeks, typically 3, on average 3 weeks from now, we'll be having a whole different conversation. I'm going to let you know about it before you leave today. I am going to let you know about, in fact, we've gone so far now as we've even plotted out. We schedule your next 4 lessons along with your conference to talk about black belt training before you ever leave when you enroll. And that's a whole different conversation. But it's a shortcut to having people be on a membership that matters, to investing in their future, and to not only say yes, but say thank you. So that's an overview of it. As always, there is a link in the, or there will be a link here momentarily in the chat if you guys want to schedule a one-on-one call, and we can do that to help you with specifics. Roman just posted that in there. Thank you, sir. And yeah, click that link, schedule a time. We'll dive in head first for anyone that wants to get started with mass training or learn more or do more or get more out of this. This stuff works, guys. It just works. However, with this, let's take a minute here and let's go around the room with you guys that do have your cameras on. We'll start with Master Garland and then Rich and then Joel and then Rodney. What are you taking away from this training today? What are you thinking about differently, or maybe know now that you didn't know before that you might take and implement or use that might be different than what you've done in the past?
I think the flow of the intro program that I need to, I'm doing snippets, but I'm not the systematic. I'm doing A, B, C, D. I'm doing A. I got C in there, then pops in E. Then I'm back to C again, touching on that, and I really need to make it very congruent and follow that logical.
I'm telling you, it does make things so much easier and simpler, and it's not hard. In fact, what I recommend is as you read through your whole manual there, just make notes and make bullet points, right? In fact, I know we've had new staff members in the past when we first started to train them. They will make their bullet points and put it on a clipboard, and they'll even tell the family, hey, I'm going to take you through the whole orientation process today. And to make sure nothing is missed, I'm going to go ahead and use my notes here. Is that okay? And guess what every single parent says?
Yes.
Oh, that'd be great. Oh, of course. Thank you. Thank you. They now feel a higher level of appreciation for you for wanting to make sure you take good care of them. But the typical karate guy would be like, oh, well, I can't use notes. What if they see me using my notes? Let me tell you guys a secret. Anything that you might think is uncomfortable, just address that first. Lean into it. Well, I don't have this totally down yet. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I'll remember everything. Make notes. Yeah, but what if they think I don't know everything? Well, okay. Lean into it. Mrs. Jones, my name is Jonathan Peschke. I'm going to be helping you guys out today. Take you on a tour of our academy and do your first lesson to see if this is a good fit or not. Either way, it'll be okay. I'm going to do my best. And to make sure nothing is missed, I'm going to go ahead and use my notes. Does that be okay with you? 1,000%. Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. Perfect. They now hold you in a higher regard immediately, and you have better rapport instantly. Just be honest with people, guys. It's that simple. All right, so great takeaway. Yes, I agree with you. Get the flow, the rhythm, the sequencing, if you will, and it just works out much better. 100%. Very right. All right. Rich Silver, what do we got?
How to unmute there. I'm going to agree that, and again, we've spoke. I have some experience in the industry. A lot of things are very familiar to me, but I really do like how we have a really good strategy plan and system in place. Being a manager by trade, I've known, and helping build many businesses, I know that that's important. The thing I'm taking away that I'm probably going to change, I know I'm going to change, I've already decided from everything I've seen so far in the last week and a half with you all, is redoing how I'm marketing my program. So I was doing it like so many martial artists do, like you said, get them in the door and they pay every month. And that just goes indefinitely.
Yeah.
And instead, I'm going, yeah. Well, if you get the green belt, you're lucky. Right. But what I think I'm going to be doing now is repackaging it so I have what's called beginner level and then white belt. So you don't just walk in as a white belt with me. That's going to be that basic program that we start with. Then the yellow belt, which is 8 months and 8 months. So you got level 1, level 2 would be the next program. So I would re-sign them up as like a goal goal setting. It's like we complete this program. Let's come back in and let's review what have you liked, what have you done. All right, let's go ahead and set the next goal. The next goal is this. It takes approximately this amount of time, and then remarket it each time so that they, instead of letting them just feel like I'll just keep training month to month, that we're literally setting goals for each one of my sections.
Well, month to month is the worst way to sell a membership because you're literally requiring a student to recommit to you every 30 days. I mean, imagine you try to maintain a marriage like that. Hey, honey, we're not going to really get married. I'm going to marry you for 30 days at a time. Let's see how long it works out. It's not going to work very long, right? So I think.
Well, if I can interrupt for a second. It kind of reminds me of something. You mentioned marriage. I was thinking the same thing. Most marriages, you get married and then you just work on it month to month to month forever and hope it just lasts. I always took away from a couple of celebrities that did this, that every year they recommitted to their marriage. And I'm thinking of the same thing, that every time we meet that next goal, we sit together and we recommit to our end goal towards black belt.
Well, see, my end goal is 4th degree.
Right.
So as we continue to work together, I want to try, I think you're on the right track. And also for everybody on the call, don't be afraid to continue to improve your business. Sometimes people think I just need to set it and forget it. Nothing is static. We're always looking for ways to improve. The stuff I share with you guys is stuff that we first tried here at home with our 4 schools. Then we've experimented with some of our high-level clients, and then we release it to the masses. So anything that I'm telling you to do or sharing with you as a recommendation, rest assured, it has been thoroughly vetted. It has been worked all the kinks out before I ever share anything with you. It's already been proven, guaranteed. Okay. And so selling an outcome is better than selling a timeline. Selling 30 days is like working for minimum wage. Selling a year is like working for a salary. I want to be vested. I want to sell an outcome. But I know I can't start with that big of a deal. Because I think a couple of weeks ago, I talked about, I like eating pizza and I like eating it one bite at a time. And occasionally I'll fold a slice in half and take bigger bites. But if I tried to eat the whole pie in one bite, I would choke and die. So our memberships, we start off on a 2-week trial. It's an introduction. We bring them in, we take them and we enroll them on a 1-year membership, but we let them know our goal is to get to black belt. And we let them know that I'll be watching closely. So if in a few short weeks, I see what I'm looking for, we will invite you to set that goal for your child too. And now I will follow through on what I just told you. And in 3 weeks, we're going to invite you to set your sights on one day earning the rank of black belt. And we will sell you the program that will allow you to get to black belt. And here's some high level stuff for you guys. How they pay has no bearing. For example, we have 1/3 of our students will pay off a black belt membership in 18 installments. I mean, sometimes they prepay the whole thing in a single installment, of course, but the average is half of them will do it in 18 installments. Why? Because they're not buying time. They're purchasing an outcome. Now, does that mean that they get handed a black belt for doing nothing? Of course not. But it means that once that tuition is fulfilled, they don't owe student tuition again until that outcome is reached. Game changer. Game changer. They don't get silly calls about put my membership on hold. You don't get silly calls about don't charge my card. You get the money out of the way. Now, some people need 36 months to make a 36-month installment plan. Yeah, but not everybody. Heck, half of them can do it in 18. 20% of them will do it in one payment. So, and then some of the even higher level stuff is selling a membership to get to 2nd degree, 3rd degree, 4th degree before they ever finish their first year of training. Now, how do that's a whole nother, but right now we got to get the foundation started. We got to get step one. So,
well, that's kind of what I was talking about with my, with thing is that I'm selling, even if they go past the time frame, I'm not charging them any more than what that one block was.
Yeah. Perfect. I love it.
Yeah. So excellent. There you go. Cool.
All right. Cool. So Joel Brown, what do we got, sir?
Well, your advice to me is always shut up. And that's getting out of my, and that's getting out of my personal zone too. But that's, because I am very big into wanting to make sure that my students are taken care of, which that's above and beyond. I'm always going to do that.
Yes,
But
sir.
as far as what I've been doing, I'm learned so much every time I come on one of these calls. And my takeaway today is that I have been running my trial lessons wrong.
Okay.
I've been bringing them, and I have a senpai that works for me. And so my senpai will take my regular staff. We'll flip flop. Either I'll take it as the sensei, or he'll take the beginners as the senpai, or vice versa, just depending on the number.
Yeah.
And we have them in the classroom with the other class. And I have found that takes my focus away from A, the new students, or B, the existing students, because I'm always watching to make sure that no one's doing something stupid or something wrong.
Yes, sir.
And because what we do can break shit, and I don't want anybody to get broken.
Right.
So I am very, very serious about wanting to do this. What you just showed us today is bring them in, make an appointment for an hour, bring them in, go through all their questions, get to know them, get that personal connection going, and then take them through that 10-minute lesson. Here's how you bow again. This is why, this is our history. This is where Krav Maga came from. This is why we do it. And then take them through basic stance, everything basic to get them in the door.
Yeah. Yeah. Dynamite. That's a great observation. Great takeaway. Because, what this entire process of the tour and orientation takes us about 45 to 60 minutes, from great to meet you at the front door to we'll see you Monday for your first class. Here's your uniform. I can't wait. That should all take 60 minutes total, including teaching the lesson and getting them enrolled. And if you're taking more time than that, it means there's a lot of other things that are going on that aren't lending to you doing the sale, the enrollment. That's great. All right. And Rodney, you want to share something real quick? I know we're out of time, but I don't want to leave you out, sir. Can't hear you. You got to unmute.
All right, Kay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. Great session just now from you. It's kind of funny that for the session today is I started this actually Saturday. I rewrote my guidelines for my introductory about 2 weeks ago. Got all of my stuff printed out last week, and I had some private lessons scheduled on Saturday, in which went really well. And
Beautiful.
same stuff that you're talking about, I cleared every bullet point in the 45-minute private lesson. Hey, welcome, come on in. I'm Kyoshi Cheeseman. This is the dojo. What we're gonna do today? What is your what are you looking to gain out of this lesson? Versus the next other two people, what are you looking to gain out of this, and what are you looking to gain out of this? And let's combine it all together so that nobody's left out. And then same way you were saying with the down payment, I'll give you this and I'll give you this, if things go well. So it works. It's my first time doing it, and it worked. So I just need to continue to do it and keep making it happen.
Excellent. So now keep in mind, the next step is letting them know. Don't keep it up here. We got to let them know our goal is for you to qualify for black belt training. So make sure you do your best each class, every class, because in the next couple of weeks, we'll be talking about whether or not you get that opportunity.
Right.
That's how you want to talk about it. Not, I want, oh, I hope you do it. Do your best so we can select you to be a part of it. Make it more, come across as more exclusive. Okay. All right. So everyone, I got to go. Thank you for being here. You guys that didn't have your cameras on, glad you were here too. Rich, I think if you check your email, you either do have or will have shortly the link for the Facebook marketing machine.
It's also in the school group.
Oh, and it's in the school group.
That's the easiest way to get to it. Yeah.
Okay. So go to the school group, click it. It's a Loom video, and you'll see Roman. He walks you through step by step, what to click, what to turn on, what to type in. It is a no-brainer, guys. And every school that has activated that has gotten leads coming in. So get it done. All right, guys, go get them. Have a great day.